Hello, and welcome to Totally Schway Flipside. My name is Mary,
My name is Luke.
and Thorbor, the cat, is joining us today. I'm sure he will give you loads of insight as he suntans at the window. How are you today, Luke?
Do you know what's really weird? I am constantly hungry. It doesn't matter how much I eat or drink. I just feel hungry and I don't know what's wrong.
If you go on any TikTok about food or anything like that, they'll just say protein.
Yeah, but I eat loads of
I
protein.
know, that's what yeah.
But yeah, that's the mystery I'm trying to get to the bottom of at the moment.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
A bit weird today. Had uh not a great sleep. I don't feel myself today, but I just got to get through it. Got to get through the day,
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow, which is Sunday, is Easter.
The day this episode's going out.
Yeah.
We should have done an Easter special.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Because I love bunnies.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't really celebrate Easter, but I guess we do in a way because we go down to see Luke's parents, who are some of my favorite people in the world. And I get to see one of my favorite nieces, hopefully, Artie, the dog. Luke's like, what? All the other nieces are away.
Say Elsa's a boy.
Yeah, I know Elsa's a boy.
And he's a cat.
Yeah. So do you have any news or anything today?
Oh, I suppose a little tiny bit of news. For people that love Batman Beyond, you might want to check out Todd McFarlane's website because he's releasing a 7-inch bust of Terry McGinnis's Bat Cowl. They're quite cheap. They're I don't know, less than $20.
Did you get one?
Yeah, you told me to order 2, so I did.
Oh, nice.
To make the postage worthwhile.
Ordering the other day.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, and you said, "Oh, that's going to be expensive," and no, it wasn't. They were cheap.
I see. When you said that, I thought you were talking about the Keaton Batman.
Oh, big one.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a smaller version of it
Okay.
because that Keaton one's too big.
Yeah, we can't even fit the box anywhere, to be honest.
Yeah,
Other than the storage unit.
Yeah, it's in storage.
Yeah.
Comfortably.
Anywho,
there was another small piece of news. Sorry.
no, I was saying anywho about the storage unit. I was like, I keep thinking about what to put in that.
Oh, I know. We're going to need to get a bigger one since you put too much stuff in there. But the other small piece of news is that Mary tracked down a vintage Darkseid action figure from Superman the Animated Series.
Okay, what are you talking about?
Yeah, you tracked it down and then opened it, and my soul left my body. So you're now communing with the spirit. But
Did you open
You opened it.
Oh, I did, didn't I?
To be fair, though, the box was sun bleached, so we were like, yeah, fine, you can open it. It's okay. But he now stands on my desk, staring at me while I'm working.
Yeah. Have I told them that? Yes, I have. I've probably told them half a dozen times. I'm doing the Superman the Animated Series advent calendar, and I've got such a cute idea that it's not. Because at first I was going to do kryptonite, right? Just a huge thing of kryptonite. And then I was like, no, because I'm bedazzling a car at the moment, which I'll get to in a sec. So I know how long this is going to take. I don't want to start on this now. And then I was like, oh, I could do the Daily Planet. And then I was like, oh, that's going to take me a long time to bedazzle. So no. So now I have a really cool idea. So in about 6 months' time, you'll be able to see what I'm doing. It's very simple but cool. And also back to the car situation, I got a really cool, but
So she got one of the Superman the Animated Series action figures. You can probably hear it rattling around.
Yeah.
So it was Clark Kent's car.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a little red sports car that's got a switch on it that makes.
Mr. Kent, I believe.
I believe so. Yes, you press the button or pull the trigger or whatever it is. That's it. There you go. You may have heard it. And wings pop out of the side, and the Clark Kent that sat in the driver's seat gets pushed into the back, and you're supposed to have a Superman figure sat in there. Unfortunately, this one was opened and it didn't come with a Superman figure. We've got the Clark Kent though.
Well, tell them why I got this one.
So Mary bought this one. One, because it was cheap, very inexpensive, because nobody really wants to buy open toys. And the other reason is she's bedazzling it, so she's putting coloured gemstones on it.
Duh.
Duh,
Yeah.
plastic
I don't know. I
chocolates.
just needed something to do, and I've been kind of like just trying to um calm my mind a bit recently, so I wanted to do that.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna tell you something. I have also bedazzled a Smiths tin. So if you guys don't know what Smiths are, they're kind of like Altoids, but little like triangles instead of round mints. Um, and I have bedazzled some curse words.
Oh yeah, she has.
I think I'm gonna hang it up in the bathroom once I'm finished, but I cannot show you a picture of that because I'm not finished with it yet.
Mhm.
And because it's got swear words on it.
Mm.
Yeah.
I suppose there's one other little tiny piece of news, wasn't there, relating to this place? I just pointed at the bag from the shop that we went to. So you may know from my comics channel that Mary and I like to go to comic shops in and around where we live. Excuse me, my voice went.
LDN.
Yes, yeah. And we went to the Notting Hill Comic Exchange, and it turns out they're moving, or they have moved. So it used to be on, I've forgotten the name of the road. Was it Portobello Road?
Yeah, Portobello Road.
Portobello Road. There we go. They used to have like 3 buildings there. There was one for books, one for fashion, and one for comics. I won't go into the exact details we were told about what's going on with the lease for their comic building, but basically it's been they've been outbid by someone who may or may not be money laundering.
Yeah, that's something like Portobello Road. I don't so if you ever like hear about London or anything like that, when you hear something like Portobello Road or Notting Hill, it's very it's got a great or it had a great culture. I think it still does in terms of like things you can eat, people you can see, and just things you can do.
Shops as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, um, so I've lived here for 17 years, nearly 17 years, and I have seen Portobello Road go from this like really eclectic place to go shopping and to have something to eat to money laundering places. And I say that,
Alleged money
yeah,
laundering.
I say that because like, you know, I know.
It was described to us as the new shop is going to be a magnet shop.
Yeah.
And there were already 2 on that road, and allegedly they were paying a lot above the asking price for the lease, which seems suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't know for certain what's going on. Maybe there's a massive market
Should
for.
ask them next time I'm there.
Well, they kind of did. Oh, what, the people in the magnet shop? Yeah, well,
I should be like, oh, so this is a I love London thing. Yes, I'll take this. 5 in every color. Um, I don't like magnets, but whatever. Are you money laundering?
Yeah. But the upshot of this is that the book and the comic shop are merging together.
Yeah.
They have merged together. They've moved all their stock over. So if you're looking for that comic shop, it's just moved a couple of doors down.
It's tiny but mighty.
Yes, yeah. There's loads of stuff in there. Loads
Yeah.
of stuff.
Um,
It was. I told Mary this. I watched a YouTube video where someone was talking about going to the Notting Hill Comic Exchange, and they said it was this fantastic place full of vintage stuff from the 90s. And yeah, my soul left my body for a brief moment.
so 1996, by the way. No. It's 2006. You can now call vintage.
My soul!
Will I do that? Absolutely not, because
But yeah, so that's a little news for people that like comic books and like going to London to visit the comic shops. Really, I think what's kind of happened is that the bookshop is probably the one that's suffering the most, because a lot of their stock has been cleared out to make room for the comics. I'm sure it's still there somewhere,
hmm
and you can probably, if you ask them nicely, they'll probably show you. But yeah.
The last time we asked that man to show us something, you with how many comics?
About 30 of
Yeah,
Jack Kirby's
good
New
comics
Gods,
though, in
Mr.
quite good
Miracle.
condition.
Yeah, they were in excellent condition,
Yeah,
and he priced them very reasonably.
yeah.
Very, very reasonably.
I think
Too
that
reasonably, in
I think
fact.
that whole shop is very reasonable, compared to other comic shops in London
Yeah.
that sell vintage things, and not just brand new, because brand new things are, well, people got to get paid.
hmm People got to get paid for the vintage stuff as well, haven't they? But anyway, I feel like that's all of the community style news update stuff. Have I missed anything?
Um, Finally got that plug fixed in the kitchen.
Oh yeah.
That was nice. As if I use the oven very often. We cook a lot, by the way. But I just don't like using the oven. Um, because it's so weird over here. The ovens are a bit strange. Well, this one anyway. So yeah, let's get to the comments. I'm sure everybody's
Yes.
so happy to hear about the electric guy coming over. What's his name?
Can't remember.
No, I mean like the what do you call it? The maintenance.
The electrician.
The electrician. There you go. Came over to fix her plug.
Hmm.
Yeah,
His name was Mustafa, I think. Actually,
that's an awesome
I think it
name.
was Mustafa. I'm gonna have to double check. But anyway,
Can we have him forever? Like,
maybe.
I love that.
We need to get to the comments because we're 10 minutes in and we've not read anything yet.
If you hear this, by the way, it's because I'm bedazzling as I listen to everything.
She's multitasking. So I'm going to read these in order from latest to oldest, just because it's so much easier for me to read them like that on my phone. Remember, if your comment was not read, we're not being mean to you. It's just either you left it after we recorded this, or for some reason YouTube didn't let it show up, because YouTube can be a bit finicky sometimes with really long comments. For some reason, they just don't show up. And they're not.
We'll double check to see because we don't want.
Listen, I double checked the swear filter as well, just to make sure nothing was caught. Anyway, so the latest comment then is from the Phantasm, who says, "Consider this a late April Fool's present. Scooby Dooby Doo, where are you? We've got some work to do now. Scooby Dooby Doo, where are you? We need some help from you now. Come on, Scooby Doo, I see you, pretending you've got a sliver, excuse me. But you're not fooling me, because I can see the way you shake and shiver. You know we got a mystery to solve, so Scooby-Doo, be ready for your act, don't hold back. And Scooby-Doo, if you come through, you're going to have yourself a Scooby snack. That's a fact. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, here are you. You're ready and you're willing. If we can't count on you, Scooby-Doo, I know we'll catch the villain." One of the greatest theme songs of all time, and no, that part was not a joke, and you know it. Personally, I prefer the What's New Scooby-Doo theme, though. I think we'll agree to disagree there.
I prefer, you know, the Cosby Show. I love that show. I don't love the person that's on it, but that theme tune, one of the greatest.
If we're going to talk about...
well, obviously, other than Batman and all of that.
Yeah, I was going to say, if we're just talking about... Oops, just knocked my chair. If we're going to talk about 60s cartoon theme songs, then I think Spider-Man's right up there. You know, Spider-Man, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Does anybody remember the Monkees?
Yeah.
I never watched that, but I remember people talking about it a lot. Hey, we're the Monkees.
Well, here's everyone's homework. Look up the 1960s Thor cartoon that was basically just Jack Kirby's drawings, crudely motioned, animated, I suppose. It had a really memorable theme song about crossing the golden bridge to Asgard, or the rainbow bridge to Asgard, excuse me. So yeah, look that up.
Also, if you want to, since we're in the 60s, look up Morrison Hotel, because that's one of the best albums of all time. And, the Soft Parade as well.
Okay, there's your homework.
Yeah.
Next we have one and only Cucumber, who says, "I'm back. Wait, did I leave the oven on? I'll be right back." Well,
did you?
Get with the times, one and only Cucumber. Everyone uses air fryers these days. Come on. It's much more energy efficient.
I need to know. Like, did you? Is it off now?
Well, I mean, he says that he did, so he must have done.
Okay.
Next, we have David Carney, who says, "Hi, Mary and Luke. Speaking of trading cards, I've got some Buffy cards unopened from Free Comic Book Day years ago. It's a shame they couldn't use the JSA hashtag JLAS. Yes. Have you read Geiger, The Rocket Fellas, and Hyde Street? I really enjoy them, but there's been delays. Have a good week, everyone." No, I haven't been reading those new series, actually. They're published by Image, aren't they, with like a little mini. Is it Image? I think it's Image. It's like a little mini imprint, Ghost something with Jeff Johns and
How sad is it
Lux.
that Buffy isn't? I mean, I've not watched Buffy, but I know a lot of people love it. How sad is it that it's not gonna get a new series?
Well, and in its current form, yeah,
Yeah, that sucks.
yeah.
Not that I want a Charmed season, whatever it was, but I think Buffy would fare better. I liked Charmed, by the way.
Mhm. Well, thank you for your comment, David. Hope you had a good week.
I thought you were gonna thank me for my comment. I was like, you're welcome.
Next, we have Michael Dolan, who says, "Ahoy, Luke and Mary. Green and purple isn't just Lex Luthor's thing, it's a colour combination favoured by a surprising number of supervillains. Joker, Riddler, Green Goblin, Mysterio, Kang the Conqueror, King Cobra from the Serpent Society, Mesmero, Quoth, Professor Doofenshmirtz. It's not a lot, but it's still weird that it happened more than once. I expect that with so many heroes wearing primary colours cladding their opponents in secondary colours does some thematic visual shorthand." Yes, I saw a whole video about that a couple of months ago. How they're not just secondary colours, but also the opposite colours of like Spider-Man's red and blue. But anyway, Tom Turbine was a stand-in for the Golden Age Atom, Al Pratt, who was simply a 99-pound, 5'1" tall nuclear physicist trained as an Olympic-level boxer. Atom Smasher with the super strength and size-changing power is Pratt's godson, Al Rothstein. Well, there we go. Thank you for correcting me. I knew that it was something along those lines. But anyway,
All I have to say about this is, Luke, do better.
yeah.
Do better.
Also, the Injustice Gang are riffs on Golden Age Justice Society foes, as you correctly note. Sportsman, is the Sportsmaster. Music Master is Fiddler. Dr. Blizzard is the Icicle, and Sir Swami is the Wizard. I've just realised something potentially horrible. Oh no. My late brother Zach published his own comic, Super! Always all caps and with an exclamation point. An action comedy about a team of D-list superheroes in the city of Cosmopolis. That's a good name. A place with so many costumed heroes and villains that you can't sneeze without getting 3 of them wet, struggling to rise above their own ineptitude and poor judgment. They can't even agree on a team name like a squabbling high school garage band. Or garage band, depending on your accent. One of the regulars on the team, a speedster, is named The Streak. Zach's streak is nothing like the streak from the episode, though. He's a reckless frat boy nepo baby, more interested in riding the reputation of his famous father, The Rush, and impressing girls than fighting crimes. Most significantly, while his skin may be immune to the friction caused by travelling at hypersonic velocities, his clothes aren't, so in order to run at top speed, he has to be nude. That's the joke in the name, isn't it? The Streak. He's super fast and super naked. Super also featured an ice-based villain who led a gang of hockey-playing hooligans, Baron Blizzard, and Dr. Fate/Dr. Strange send-up named the Silver Swami. To my horror, I'm pretty sure I was the one who suggested the names for these characters to Zach. I promise I wasn't consciously thinking of this episode. Well, I won't tell DC and Warner Brothers if you don't. Oh no, they're listening!
You know what, Warner Brothers, if you are listening, I will give you my resume if you just reach out. Because I have been working on another voice. In case, like, you guys need some characters or something. James Gunn, I'm here for you.
Mary may long for more camp, but camp is more of a 60s thing and wouldn't fit with the 50s milieu. Just look at the vast difference between the 50s Adventures of Superman with George Reeves and the 1960s Batman with Adam West. The two eras are nigh incompatible. Reeves' supremely earnest Clark Kent would become a joke for walking around as if he was still in the late 40s. The squarest of square pegs in the groovy Technicolor 60s Gotham. And putting Cesar Romero and Frank Gorshin full of tongue-in-cheek antics and winking at the camera into straight-laced monochrome 1950s Metropolis would be like an invasion by the Muppets. Luke is correct that Dallas revealed an entire season. Perhaps more was all a dream, and Mary is thinking of St. Elsewhere, a long-running medical drama that revealed in the final episode that everything was merely the visions in the head of a non-verbal boy gazing into a snow globe of the titular hospital. I knew that as well. He's just reminded me of it. Couldn't remember the
Really
name of the
watched
show
it,
though.
just know of the reference.
This has led to an internet/iceberg rabbit hole known as the Tommy Westfall universe, which posits that if the characters of St. Elsewhere are figments of little Tommy's imagination, then so are the cast of Cheers, since the two Boston set shows crossed over once. This means Cheers spin-off Frasier is also part of Tommy's dreams, and so is every other show that crossed over with St. Elsewhere, Cheers and Frasier, and so it's every show that crossed over with those shows. And so on until something like 90% of 20th century American television is diegetically occurring in a prepubescent autistic boy's mind. The late Richard Belzer's recurring character of Detective John Munch is a load-bearing structure of this concept, connecting everything from Law and Order Special Victims Unit to The X-Files to Sesame Street. Personally, I don't think that every show in which Belzer guest stars as Munch takes place in the same universe, but rather that Munch is a multiversal constant like Ace Rimmer and Dirk Gently. Every timeline has a Detective Munch. Yes, I can agree with that.
I love Detective Munch.
If Mary wants more neurodivergent representation, I recommend Star Trek. It's never stated explicitly, but lots of the most popular characters have been read as autistic coded by fans over the years. Spock, Data, Worf, Odo, Tuvok, Seven of Nine, and T'Pol just off the top of my head. Non-human characters who don't completely mesh with the dominant human culture, trying to understand it and work within it even if they never quite fit in. And of course, there's Doctor Who, once described by Tom Baker as being at a slightly odd angle to the human species. I've never been diagnosed myself, but lately I'm starting to wonder if I might be on the spectrum to some extent. Nothing makes me happier than making lists arranged alphabetically, chronologically, by size, by colour, by system of categorization, that probably only makes sense to me. I may wear my hundreds of geeky t-shirts and geeky enamel pins daily, but I do so in a strict order. I may be wearing a new Batman shirt today that arrived earlier this week, but it felt wrong somehow to wear it before I completed wearing the set of cute cartoon animals doing mad science, and it will probably make my brain stop itching when I move on to the series of kaiju and then cryptids and come next in the rotation schedule. I watched your B-Test card unboxing video and it was pure torture, watching you put the cards in a pile all willy-nilly instead of sorting them into proper numerical order, and right side up was the visual equivalent of hearing a garden rake dragged across a chalkboard for me. Yeah, well, we sorted them later on. We just didn't want to sit there for, have people watch us sort them out.
I also love a list. And actually, it's not just one list. I have quite a lot of lists on my notes app, and I still go through lists that I have in one of my old emails. Um, and it's so weird to some people, but it's something that is very comforting. And yeah, I also know, like I collect nail polish. I have list of those. I can tell you the brand, the color, and the type of formula it has, whether it's like gel, metallic, matte, all of that. I can do that. And I also have one for my pins.
And I collect comic books.
But you don't put them in a particular.
Well, I do. I put them in numerical order, but the problem is they can't always fit in a specific place. So I have to just accept that, okay, these ones are just going to have to go in that box, even though they're unrelated, because that's where they fit.
That would drive me nuts.
Well, it used to drive me nuts, but I've just accepted it. I mean, it's funny. My dad asked me recently how I remember which ones I've got when I've got so many of them, and I said I just remember the covers. I remember that I've got that one. But yeah, that's just me. Anyway, just to continue Michael's comment, I'm also sympathise with Mary, as I too am a shrieking arachnophobe. Pretty much the only spider I've ever been okay with the tiny one that built a web next to the kitchen sink when my brother and I lived at our late grandfather's house. We had a significant ant problem one summer, and I watched the tiny spider snatching up and webbing up the little blighters at a rate of knots. I said, fine, you can stay. For ages I've been waiting to run a science fiction tabletop role-playing game, sort of Dungeons and Dragon rules in the 26th century galactic setting, and I want to include a recurring character at the player's regular port of call from an alien species that look like man-sized tarantulas, with big glossy eyes like jumping spiders. He'll be a jittery, nervous wreck because he has a debilitating phobia of humans and is constantly terrified that people might try to eat him. In medical news, my left foot is completely healed and staying that way, and I no longer need to wound care every week. The podiatrist was very pleased, but he still wants me to see him at his office and not at the hospital in about a month or 6 weeks for a follow-up, and I expect it will become another regular checkup type thing I already do with my cardiologist and primary care physician. I'll be seeing my primary care doctor the first Monday of April and realised that there have been other issues I've neglected to mention outside of my ongoing foot and eye problems. My kidney function being about 40% last time it was checked, and the recent case of pneumaturia, yes. Google it. I can't think of a way to explain it in a family show, and I'll let you know what I find out. Okay. Also, before I go, one last thought about Nightwing's hair that I didn't hear until after the Flipside episode was actually already recorded, excuse me. The problem with a mullet is that it is a product of a belief that you can have two different, mutually incompatible hairstyles on the same head. It's simply not cricket. And finally, my other channel recommendation this week is Putting on the Air's podcast, where two stand-up comedians from the rural southern US, Trey, the liberal redneck Crowder of Salinas, Tennessee, and Corey Ryan, chief hitting officer, Forrester of Chickamauga, Georgia, discuss, as they put it, fancy people stuff from a trashy people perspective. In a brief promotional skit, they express it thus. Hey, Corey, do you like fancy stuff? Like going to a wedding where they have a sit-down dinner and not just a buffet? Fancier than that. Like actually buying a dog and not just picking one out for free from a cardboard box in the Walmart parking lot? Even fancier. You mean like marrying my first cousin to preserve the royal bloodline and secure an alliance with France, and not just because she's got big old titties? Exactly that fancy. Well then, yeah, I do like fancy stuff. As I write this, their most recent episode covers such topics as whether a recently photographed Kenyan lion's unsightly male pattern baldness makes him more or less intimidating as king of the jungle, pretentious restaurants where diners pay to graze from potted plants, the absolutely bonkers true story that inspired the Jean-Claude Van Damme film Bloodsport, and the true story behind that true story. I find them hilarious and hope you will too, as we could all use something to laugh about these days. As Trey and Corey might say, comedy hits, fascism don't hit. See you next week to discuss Static Shock, The Big League. Yes, thank you for your comment, Michael. Very thorough and engrossing as ever. And moving on to the other Michael, Big Mikey P, with his latest tome. And he starts out by saying, late comment, internet went on the fritz last night. Mixed through would be that two-parter involving Despero. Mixed Thoughts would be that two-parter involving Despero. Would rank Hearts and Minds slightly lower than Legacies. Barring that, I'm fine with the Justice Guild being XP characters, not unlike how Alan Moore's Watchmen did well with developing its own XPs. 10 minutes and 40 seconds. I love the concept of fictional works actually being reality in other universes. The antagonist Ray Thompson's mind realm brings into mind Princess Tutu's Golden Crown Town and Homu Lily spawned fake Mita Kihara from Madoka Magica Rebellion, plus a few SCPs whose numbers elude my memory. I like characters like Tom Turbine and a bunch of Emil Hamilton iterations. Eccentric, matter-of-fact genius, Loki types have a working aura about them. Another fellow channel I would recommend is Phantom Strider, who just released a video about autism traits. Bless Gardner Fox on developing the multiverse theory idea. If I'm going to make my own multiversal tale, I'd like to name something, a research station on interdimensional affairs, and a few notable characters. One of the beloved founders of the Multiversal Defense Force that constructed said station, after the man. Music Meister, not Music Maestro. What did I say? I must have said Music Maestro, shouldn't I? Anyway, kid or not a kid, I still prefer Justice League Season 2 over Justice League... and JLU, over Justice League Season 1, and Blur, Super Friends. 7.9 to 7.8 out of a 10 range, Legacies. Well, I guess I'll reread DC The New Frontier, and perhaps rewatch its Justice League movie adaptation in honour of this two-parter. Books recap. Happily finished on Without Remorse and am now at the Sum of All Fears. Same goes for The Cruel Sea. What a bittersweet tale from the 1939 to 1942 service and sinking of the Compass Rose to the 1943 to 1945 period of the storyline with the river-class frigate Saltash. We'll watch the movie next. Continuing on, it's Roger Stern's The Death and Life of Superman novelization. For that, quickly reread George Orwell's Animal Farm. Regardless of what one thinks of the book, it's objectively well-written prose. Also, quickly reread Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass, still a whimsical gem. Past Heidi Chapter 7, with the eponymous character now at Frankfurt to help bond with one Clara Sesman. Have been asked by a library friend to remedy their copy of The Adventures of Tom Sawyer because the copy that's got it's unexpected they got is unexpectedly abridged. Simply put, I'll be comparing the book with an unabridged copy. I did ask to just exchange it with one of my own copies of the book, but they refused. Writing separate paper notes on passages not included in the book and to check to see if there's typos and or missing commas and so on. Amusingly, you could say I'm also rereading the book in the process, so it's both informal work and leisure at the same time. As extra leisure, also reread some standalone DC comic storylines ranging from Superman for All Seasons, the 2023 Tim Sale Memoriam version with a few extra tales to be exact, the Elseworlds Batman and Dracula Red Rain, no, not going to read its 2 sequels, and the long Halloween production predecessors Batman The Haunted Knight. TV series / web series recap finally finished Aria the Origination, moving on to Blue Curtain Call, timeskip sequel trilogy starting with the Avenir, future in Italian, and all it's very similar to French as well, L'Avenir, and all the way to movies the Crepuscolo and the Benedizione. Seen to rewatching Puella, Magi Madoka, Magica episodes 9 to 10, all while the Beginnings compilation movie is already done and just starting the Eternal compilation movie. Frieren Beyond Journey's End episodes 9 and 10 by extension all of season 2 have watched. Shall eagerly await season 3 on Get This October 2027. And Past Heidi Girl of the Alps episode 20. Movies recap anyway, saw to Who's Left Behind, Kyoko's Diary afterwards. It's not as wholesome as You Are Umasou, but I can honestly say that it's an underrated companion piece to similar contemporary anime films like Barefoot Gen and Grave of the Fireflies. Now all it needs is an official mainstream release to show it to the masses. Even seen to David Swift's Pollyanna, to put it kindly, it's one of those films where one expects mindless schmaltz, but comes out being properly surprised. Worthy adaptation to the book, and by extension a worthy Disney live-action film, which is uncommon. Got chills watching the just-released Dune Part 3 teaser trailer. No, I don't care a fig on the over-sensationalist Oscars Marty Supreme opera debacle. It's not as if I've watched plays and opera much, so I can't give proper judgment. Finally, have seen to Project Hail Mary alongside some of my family after hearing much good word of mouth about it. Suffice it to say, thumbs up. You liked that movie, didn't you?
I loved that movie. It gave me a sense of hope, but I like a hope that like the world isn't going to just implode on itself out of all of the hate. Because it's such a good message that is if we work together and we don't leave each other behind, we can create such beautiful things.
Mm-hmm. Just to conclude the comment then, so the assorted recap had a shopper's spree with family during the same day Luke and Mary released a video about trading cards. No books bought, but did get a new batch of fragrant honey to eat and a new electric fan.
Do we know where he's from? Have we figured this out? Because I think he just gave it away.
Oh, yeah?
Because Shoppers is in Canada.
Mm.
Michael, are you a neighbor of mine? Are you Canadian? Because that's cool. We love Canadians.
Answers on a post.
Well, us
No, it'll be in the next.
Stamped. We'll send one back.
No, it'll be in the comments on this, I'm sure.
Yeah, I love it.
Right, okay, so let's move on to the next comment, which is from Screen Wiper with his chicken news.
Yes.
Said, didn't get read last Flipside. I was under the impression that these episodes were recorded on Sunday mornings, and I had posted the chicken news on Saturday afternoon / evening.
We had a few things to do, and it's. I think from now on we're going to do it on Saturday morning because if life is going the way that it has been, is we will end up having a lot of things to do on Sunday, especially like in the summertime and stuff. So I apologize for that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I've lost my place in the comment.
Can I just quickly say I have. So Screen Wiper and Dennis at Doc, they email me sometimes, right? And I love it. Like it brings joy to my heart But the one Screen Wiper sent me the last time, it made me laugh so much. Let me find it. The Alan, the silky cock. I don't know why it made me laugh so much.
Because it sounds like innuendo, but if I can get to this chicken news, then hopefully it will make sense.
Yeah.
So, right, where am I? Right, here's where the news starts. So it's Betty made a full recovery from her life-threatening infection.
We love.
She's back on top form now. We do have a new chicken, but not a hen rescued from the egg factories. This is a cockerel who, for whatever reason, was abandoned by his owner and taken by a concerned citizen to the animal hospital who convinced me to let him live in my hen sanctuary. So he's here on a probationary basis. There have been lots of interesting and funny little stories as I've been studying the behaviours of these animals. I try to integrate them together. Many of which can be read in last episode's chicken news in the comments. Mary, check the Totally Schway email for the photos and the report.
Looking at them.
Not quite as detailed as the chicken news of Alan's progress. Interesting, integrating into my chicken pack. There are 2 volumes now, one from today and one from a week ago. Those are copies of emails sent to the animal hospice because many staff there, especially the nurses, grew attached to my cock while he was staying with them, and they spent a week trying to find his owner. The cockerel is named Alan. He is 1 to 2 years old and half the size of my hens. They're mongrels, but mostly Loham Warren chickens. Alan is a silky.
I love him.
These are small and very strange looking. Out of the corner of my eye, actually, the picture did look like a cat.
I know, he's so cute, isn't he?
I recommend people search images of silky chickens or see the photo of Alan that I posted on Mary's community. Finally, this bit is new news. After 4 months, twice what I expected her to achieve, Wilma has had to go back into retirement from egg work. She had a good run, but her shift is over. With spring coming, she started laying more eggs, depleted her minerals, and did one with a shell too thin and brittle for our safety standards here at Blue's Hen Sanctuary. She's too precious to have her health risked for some eggs, so I've benched her. I'm very proud of and thankful to her for her work and keeping me stocked with eggs over winter, just as Mabel went on her winter break. I'm pleased to report that Wilma is taking to her hormones well and seems to be out of danger now. For anyone wondering who would win in the fight between Wilma and Alan, it's definitely Wilma.
Mm-hmm.
She's beaten him up multiple times. Betty has also kicked his butt. He attacked her first, so he deserved it. After fighting him off, Betty then went into his room and ate his tomato treats, the last of which she placed on the ground in front of him and made him watch her eat and then bow down to her. She absolutely mogged him, and he hasn't messed with her since. I told you there were funny stories.
We love.
Yes.
I honestly, like, when I saw Alan earlier in the week, might have been last week, I did an audible gasp because I was like, I love it. He reminds me of my friend Georgie's chickens because I believe they're silkies as well.
Good. So that was the chicken update. Thank you for your comment, as ever.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for adopting or fostering, even though we know he's going to be a foster fail because you're going to end up adopting him. Thank you so much for doing that because, there's so many, so many animals out there that need homes and are, they're so cute and they just need homes. And if I could have any more animals, I probably would. But not until we get a house.
So, next comment is from Ryan Jones, who says, I really like Legends. It's a great insight into John's childhood and how he got his heroism years before he got the Green Lantern ring. I watched the Oscars and I loved Conan O'Brien's opening monologue. It was hilarious. My favourite part of the monologue was when he said, this is the first time since 2012 that there is no one from Britain that is not nominated for Best Actor or Actress category, but at least they arrested the P words. He means the paedophiles. But jokes that I thought were in bad taste was the best animation movie category when Channing Tatum told Will Arnett that he liked his work on Lego Batman movie. But have you ever tried working in front of the camera, which I find a bit distasteful? What do you think about it? I mean, it's one of those jokes, isn't it? It's supposed to get laughs out of people. I doubt it was serious. Not that I've seen it. But that was the worst thing. That was not the worst thing. The worst thing was the orchestra interrupted speeches, even if they haven't finished their speeches, which is very rude. Yeah, well, they've got very strict timelines to stick to because of network television. If they just,
You got to get to the Beyonce after
yeah,
party.
if they just, just streamed it, then they could go as long as they wanted. I find recently a trailer for that Harry Potter reboot, and I thought to myself, oh no, all hell is going to break loose when it comes out because you know who the creator of that franchise is still being involved with Harry Potter, despite her controversy that I have heard of, if you know what I mean.
Yes, I do. And I don't believe that anybody that originally liked Harry Potter and got a really great feeling about it should actually support this woman.
No.
I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry at the same time because she is an awful, vile woman that doesn't deserve the fame that she has. She created this universe that people that she hates actually find comfort in. And at first she was okay with that. And then all of a sudden it changed. And it pisses me off so much because I love the LGBTQIA plus community. I'm a part of that community and I will be damned if I ever support that woman ever again. I don't care what it is. I will not support her. That will not be going on in my home because we love trans people. We don't, pop off champagne when laws and regulations are against trans people. So, yeah.
Yeah, I saw an interesting video recently someone shared where they were talking about why it's not hypocritical to enjoy things like The Lord of the Rings when J.R. Tolkien probably had similar views.
Too.
And the reason it was very funny, they said, well, here's why. And then they cut to themselves on a green screen standing in front of Tolkien's grave with a microphone pointed at it saying, can you please tell me how you're using your wealth to attack a marginalized group? And
Yeah.
obviously, silence.
Oh, the thing that I saw was a little bit different. It's essentially the same thing, but it says that they didn't use their platforms,
Yeah.
their social platforms. I know social media didn't exist then, but there were other ways to be heard. They didn't use that to go against marginalized groups.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, but that J.K. Rowling, she can just shut up, go home,
Yeah,
and not speak to me ever again.
she's perfectly entitled to her own beliefs, but it doesn't mean she has to use her money to make other people's lives
Yeah,
miserable,
that's
particularly when they're not harming anyone.
exactly. That's the thing that really pisses me off because she supports groups that say that trans people are predators and stuff like that. Trans people are not predators. There's like something like less than 1% of all trans people are predators. But get this, nothing against Americans because I'm American, but if you look at the statistics of the white American man, those statistics are going to be a lot higher for predators than the trans community as a whole.
Yeah, yeah, very likely, very, very likely.
It pisses me off because like just because people are, who they are truly on the inside and they're that way on the outside as well. Screw everybody else that has a problem with that. Screw them. And people like J.K. Rowling, I'm on my soapbox about this, but like I cannot stand. And it's not just like a one-time thing. I got off of X pretty quick after I heard that it was changing to X, but not before I had to see people just reposting some of the awful things that she said. And it's like, first off, why are you reposting that? Okay, with no context at all. And, number two, why is this person still platformed when she is saying like the most vile things? Like if we would have said those things in school or something like that, we would have been kicked out. So why don't we kick this woman off of just social media in general? Like, full stop.
Yeah, well,
She's awful. The LGBTQIA plus community needs to stand up against that woman and supporting this new show. Although I'm sure it'll be fine and it'll probably be good, but I'm very disappointed in a lot of the actors and actresses that have signed on to be a part of this show. And yes, that's fine. You need a paycheck and everything, but you can actually stand up and say on those talk shows that you are going on to support this show that say, "Hey, F you, J.K. Rowling. I am a part of this show because I believe that this world can be for anyone. This fantasy world can be for anyone, not just who you say you want it to be for."
Well, it's just. I was.
You don't.
No, I was going to say something along the lines of actually, like Harry Potter's like massively derivative and kind of ripped off Neil Gaiman's books of magic anyway. But you know,
And you know who I'm mostly disappointed in, and at the moment anyway, is Nick Frost.
because he's playing Hagrid.
Well, I'm just disappointed in general because he hasn't actually stood up and said, "Hey, F you, J.K.
No, he
Rowling."
didn't say that, but he did say that he didn't agree with her views, and he is still an ally to people. Which you know,
But it's not the same. I mean, great,
no,
he's an ally. We love that. But we have to take a stand because there's one thing being an ally, and then there's one thing standing with us as LGBTQIA plus. Like, you have to stand up for people. I'm sorry, actually, no, I'm not sorry. This is something I'm very passionate about, and it sucks because I liked the Harry Potter movies, um, when I was younger, like in my early 20s. And it just sucks that that is kind of ruined for me. Something that was very joyful and all of that. Now I just see as like, I just see that hateful woman's face all over it. And she probably, you know, a lot of her views have probably always been there. But what's funny is that once her, you know, her money came forth, she started supporting people that wouldn't tax her as much. Just saying.
well, that's that.
It is that.
Let's move on to the next comment, which is from Mandalorian Hunter 1, who says, "Because I missed the Golden and Silver Age, it was interesting and sad seeing this episode when I was younger. It wasn't until I got older that I came to appreciate it more." Yeah. I guess if you're not familiar with the source material, then yeah, it may not be as impactful.
But there's something really cool about Justice League. So I'm not. I know a lot about comic books, and know a lot about the characters and stuff, and I always have because um, I was really into like classic movies and stuff. And once you get into that realm of things, um, it kind of like just flows into like the different books
Mm-hmm.
that came out, magazines, comics, all of that. So I know quite a bit about them, but it's not enough to just follow the storyline sometimes. But when Justice League came out, and when I first watched it, which was after it had come out, I still kind of got the gist of all of it, which was really cool that they did it in a way where they didn't dumb it down for me, as in like, oh, this character was here, here, and here, and give me a full backstory. But they gave me enough that I got it, and it got me more intrigued. Like I was so intrigued and looked up some of these characters, and it was really cool. So I love again, one of the many things I love about hashtag JLAS is that anybody could watch this and still get it. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. Thank you for your comment. Let's move on to Lowell Lucas Jr., who says, "It's time, boys and girls, for another misadventures of Luke and Mary, who's sometimes scary and totally Schway.
That's true.
Brought to you by Zinc, that marvellous mineral to make you think." Now on to the show. "Greetings, everyone. I'm now one of your people by joining the Schway crew." Yes, Lowell Lucas Jr. is now a channel member. "I happen to have a few bucks and sent it over. Thank you. Hope it helps our favourite Midwestern mommy with the goddamn Luke man sulking the streets of YouTube, TikTok, fighting crime for stealing his act. Also, to you, Mary, go get that Wonder Woman Barbie. I plan on getting that awesome Heman and Tila Barbie set that caught my attention." She's holding it in her hands right now.
This is the sound of the Wonder Woman Barbie.
You were going to do a little short about that, weren't you?
I was, and then I got sidetracked by about 18 different things. But I will do it eventually.
Not only both being from Mattel, but the concept is brilliant. Now on to the comment below. Is it me, or is there a secret message that fanboys or girls are secretly evil? Yeah, maybe. I mean, aside from the mutated fanboy forcing his own will and warped reality on everyone around him, was he really that bad? We also see this with Bruce Timm as the mad bomber. Yes, toys are expensive. Maybe crime was the cheaper route. And even Batmite has shown their fandom and over-obsession can lead to a touch of villainy if their reality is ever questioned. Just hilarious theory, and the folks behind DC poking fun. I do think Batman fighting biker Santas is pretty awesome. Well, folks, that's it for me. I have a comic deadline to complete, but I want to share this. May you all have a great day and enjoy your life, for nothing is promised. I just found out Sam Keith passed away, and he was one of my favourite artists, from his hairy, detailed Wolverine to his work on the Max, and even his independent cover art with Cadillacs and dinosaurs to Sandman. He was only 63 and just too young to go suddenly. May you enjoy your time and enjoy your hobbies. Never never let it transform you into something you won't recognise in the mirror, and let your fandom get away from you and attack you in a Looney Tunes fashion. Till then, my duckies, TTFN, ta-ta for now.
Ta-ta for now.
Yes, thank you, Lowell.
The Max was good.
I never watched it. I read a couple of the comics decades ago, but I can't remember much about it.
Yeah. I want to say I watched it with my brother, but I might have watched it by myself. Brother, if you're listening, which you're probably not, but hey, how are you doing? Can you read your messages? Love you, bye. Also, did we watch Max together? I think we did. I'd watch it quite late at night on I think it was Liquid Television. Liquid Television or Liquid no, it was Liquid Television, I think, on MTV. I believe that's where I would watch it with Eon Flux, because I love that show. Very inappropriate for like however old I was, but yeah. They've changed some of it though.
Have they?
From what I remember, unless I'm just remembering wrong, which could happen. But I think they've changed a little bit of it.
Okay.
Yeah. Great.
Well, on to the next comment. We're near the end now, so thanks for sticking in
This
there.
is the end. Who sings that song?
The Doors.
Exactly.
I was going to say Doc Widener then, but that's the next comment. Doc Widener sings "This Is the End." Thank goodness you're here. When Luke reads this, it should be a couple of days late, but happy anniversary, you two. Oh yeah, you sent us an email I forgot to respond to. Yeah.
Lovely, thank you so much.
Sunny here. It's supposed to be rainy later this week. Temps have been anywhere from -2 to almost 27. That's 28 to 82 degrees Fahrenheit, often within a day or two. Sounds like English weather.
Yeah.
We'll have like 4 seasons in the same day. Like last week, it snowed for about 2 hours, didn't it?
I don't know what I was doing. I was probably bedazzling, I mean.
Right, so we'll continue the comment. As often with hashtag JLAS, this show reminds me a bit of early Justice League Europe story featuring the world of Angor, the alternate universe that resembles Marvel. In this case, Angor was destroyed by the Extremists' Angor supervillain team. The Extremists were rebuilt primarily by the automated system of Wacky World, a theme park created by Angorian inventor Mitch Wacky. Following the nuclear destruction of Angor, Wacky's robots, acting on their final programming, rebuilt the planet and created robotic duplicates of the extremist Lord Havoc, Dreamslayer, Dr. Diehard, Tin Man, Wongina, and Gorgon. These androids were programmed to act with the same malicious intent as their original counterparts. Mitch Wacky, having entered suspended animation to survive the Holocaust, woke to find his androids had rebuilt the Justifiers and Extremists, who promptly resumed fighting. So, not the same, but and the Angor fighting spilled into our world, but there are some similarities. I'm behind on shows. We've been looking for a car to replace the one that died due to the deer last year. Kind of want an EV, but one that fits both the budget and the practical dimensions of the family as a challenge. I really want something like a Leaf, make it my commuter car, and if it is my car, for that it should work. The missus wants something bigger. Sergey wants another Mini, which is not EV. Swastikas are off the table until their current owner achieves room temperature and his one decent kid takes over. So likely never. And I'm not wishing room temperature upon him. The US is so bass-ackwards with regards to renewables these days. The only thing I'm currently in is invincible. Have a good week, you two. I don't know how readily available Volkswagen cars are in the States, but we drive a Volkswagen SUV and it's pretty good. Has 270 odd mile or mileage on a full tank, and doesn't tank. It's a battery. Come on, and it doesn't take all that long to charge. Even on like the slower chargers, it can be done in half an hour. You park up over here. You park up at the supermarket, plug your car in, go and do your shopping, and then by the time you're done, it's at 100%. But then, as you said, the situation may very well be different in the States. But you've probably got the space for a home charger that we do not currently have.
I like our car.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be happy when we get a new one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That should be happening this year.
yeah.
Might get an ID7, a Volkswagen ID7, because that's got a mileage of 420 something miles, 430 miles, something like that.
As a passenger princess, I'm looking forward to the newer one just because I like the fact that it'll have better mileage
Mm-hmm.
than the one we currently have, which is ours is fine.
Yeah, it is.
It's fine,
We've
but
never had any problems, but whenever it gets under 100 miles left,
get
I just get nervous, even though I'm never going to drive 100 miles. Well, I'm
you get
unlikely.
anxiety.
Yeah, I do. I'm like, oh no, where's the nearest charger? Oh. But that's a me thing. Anyway, next comment is from Alexandra Frawkes, who says, as a Silver Age fan, I really like how the episode portrays the Justice Guild as clear products of their time, but still competent and heroic figures rather than making them look like a joke in order to make the Justice League, who represent the modern heroes, look better. Something similar stories often do. See the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover with their 80s counterpart. This also helped to give the episode message about not being stuck in the past more complexity, showing that while we need to move forward in life, there are things from the past that should be respected even to this day, instead of forgotten. Case in point, John became a hero because of the lessons he learned by reading the Justice Guild's adventures. Yes, very true. Thank you for your comment.
We love Jon Stewart as Green Lantern.
Mm-hmm. And I think the last comment we have here is from RJ Productions, who says, hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. I've been emotionally and physically fatigued for the last few days, but I'm doing a little better now. Glad to hear
It's
it.
good to hear.
I don't know about you, but I think it would have been a cool episode where the Justice League go missing and their non-powered allies have to rescue them. Lois Lane, Veronica Vreeland, Steve Trevor, Iris West, Alfred Pennyworth, Barbara Gordon out of costume, and Renee Montoya. Steve Trevor is like a pensioner at this point, so that would be kind of fun. They'd have to wheel him around in a wheelchair, probably. I know these last ones aren't specifically for particular heroes apart from Bats, but I just wanted an excuse to talk about Veronica Vreeland because, in my opinion, she's the national treasure of the DCAU. Please make a Veronica Vreeland podcast. Anyway, I'm done. Have a great day, everyone. Now, when you say make a Veronica Vreeland podcast, do you mean every episode is dedicated to Veronica Vreeland, or just a one-off episode talking about her?
Be a short episode, but still could do it.
5-minute episode, maybe 10 minutes, potentially. I don't know. But anyway, those are all the comments I have. If you've left a comment, either it didn't show up or you left it after we recorded this. So hopefully we got everyone though.
Yeah. So thank you so much, guys. We're coming into spring soon. I think it's about a month's time. Spring will be here, and hopefully the weather will be better, I guess. I don't know. But it's also time where a lot of people start to do like spring into new opportunities and stuff like that. And I have kind of been forced into kind of new grounds in my life with uh being diagnosed with ADHD, um like formally diagnosed with ADHD recently. It's kind of brought new like colors to my vision. I hope that that makes sense. So I'm trying to spring into new behaviors, new things, slowly but surely. So I just want you guys to know that I am 30 something years old, and I've just found this out about myself. And at first I was a little, ashamed, I guess, but I shouldn't have been. Because it makes sense, and it helps me understand myself a little bit more and know that I'm not like necessarily a flake of a person. I have a lot going on in my head and I just can't do everything. And when I don't want to do something, it becomes nothing. Um this is rambling. I whatever. Um but I want all of you to know that if you guys have to have a diagnosis of something, or even if you don't and you suspect, it's nothing to be ashamed of. And there are ways to get by in life, like with ADHD. I'm still trying to find it. So yeah, I'm still trying to find ways to not cope with it, because I don't want to cope with it. I want to live with it. And um, TikTok is not necessarily the best way to get a lot of advice for someone like me when it comes to my own neurodivergence, because it's not just ADHD. But I feel that sometimes I compare myself to other people, and that's been a huge problem of mine. And I end up looking at myself in such a bad light. And I've done that my entire life. And having this you know, just another thing added on to, my alphabet of health. Um, I really thought I was gonna go further down a hole than I should have, but I didn't, and I think that's a big part because of Luke, but also because of there's so many things that that we as neurodivergent people, if you guys are neurodivergent, we have superpowers. And I know a lot of people say that, this is my superpower, this is my superpower. Well, you know what? My superpower is the fact that I can tell you facts about 9/11, Eon Flux, and I can tell you about 18 different shades of Barbie pink nail polish. Just by heart. um but also I love when I love something, I love it to its core, and I don't love it and just trash it or whatever. And I love you guys, and I want you guys to know that you've helped me along with this journey, because a lot of you are open about being neurodivergent, or actually knowing a lot about neurodivergence, and it's been quite helpful. And I think it is a big part of why I didn't feel like I've only felt ashamed for a small amount of time, because I'm not alone, and I know that. And I've spent a big chunk of my life, a big, big, big part of my life, feeling very much alone, and feeling like I was, not welcomed in certain groups, or that I didn't fit into certain groups. And having this podcast has made me feel really different, because I don't have to fit into those groups. I don't have to do that. I can, just fit into my own little group and my own little space in this world. And that's okay. I don't have to, I mean, I still look down on myself quite a bit, but I don't have to continue to do that because I don't fit in a certain group. Maybe I'm not supposed to. Maybe I'm supposed to create my own group. And I'm still trying to figure out what that is, if that is anything or everything. So yeah, I'm rambling, and this has just been a word vomit thing. So if you guys didn't enjoy that, I'm sorry. But if you did listen, thank you so much, and thank you for helping me so much in my life without even realizing it. Um I might not be the best person at getting back to people online or in person. There's still some text messages that I have not replied to in 2 months. But I will get back to them eventually. Um, But I love you guys so much. And no matter what is going on in the world or what is going on in life, just remember that there is an Oklahoma woman that lives in England that you helped feel better and feel less than. So thank you. And I will say this most episodes, please wear sunscreen. We love an SPF 30 and above. SPF 15 for the lips or above. Drink your water. Take your pills. I've got a lot of pills if you guys want to trade some information on what you're taking. I don't want what you're taking, but I like to know about medication. So yeah, I love you guys. Bye.